I'm Jamie Heineman. You're watching Mythbusters.
Coming up, can you get stuck to an airline toilet?
Watch this.
Building a Biscuit Bazooka.
Oh, no! Wow! That just went everywhere.
The Leaping Lawyer. Fact or fantasy?
Scotty, I need power!
You want more?
More!
Here on Mythbusters, we're not just going to retell the legends, we're going to put them to the test.
We're prepared to put our bodies on the line.
Why should you trust these guys? Well, Jamie and Adam have over 30 years in model building, animatronics, and toy prototyping. They can build just about anything, and probably have.
This is M5, my special effects shop. Come on in and have a look around.
If we can't find what we need here, there's always Adam's junk collection.
My cigarette dispenser.
And they'll need every trick in the book.
So where do we begin? What do we got? Let's go.
This story involves a large woman, an obese woman.
Flying on an SAS flight from Europe.
And as she was going along, she had to use the restroom.
She flushed it while she was still sitting on the toilet.
And it suctioned her down a little bit, and she was stuck.
And they had to land the plane with her on the toilet.
Where the air flight crews had to come and assist her to get off.
What exactly are we going to need to test this?
We have a vacuum pump that is pretty powerful. Mm-hmm. We have to create a large female posterior. Posterior, is that how we
posterior, yes.
Yeah, large, big ass, and we got to hang it over the toilet.
Did you go to art school, Jamie?
And I build real stuff. I don't know how to draw it. I get you know what's what here, huh?
Yeah, I do. It could also be like a big leg of lamb cooking over a barbecue with gas feed.
That sounds kind of good. We got to rig a means of measuring how much pull down there is. To me, that means a big fish scale. Mm-hmm. We'll use a forklift. We'll hoist this big ass over the toilet, and we'll with the hanging off the fish scale, we lower it on there, and then we turn the pump on, and then we raise the forklift and see how much suck the thing has before it lets go via the fish scale. And we're going to have to we're going to have to invent one, because that's a pretty big fish. This woman was like I guess could have been a 300-pounder.
In the aircraft market, we have approximately 13,000 vacuum toilets in operation on a daily basis.
The toilet story broke in early 2001.
We were quite surprised how much press it did get.
We're at Interface Aviation in Hollister, California.
Oh my God.
Interface Aviation is a aircraft recycling company that acquires aircraft parts from all over the world, and they end up here. I like this. This must be the stairway from a...
Stairway 747?
Oh, yeah.
They've got 3.5 acres of used aircraft interiors.
All the paneling, the bathrooms, all the food preparation. Good Lord.
And the toilets.
And the toilets.
Every kind of toilet that's ever been made for any kind of aircraft, or so it would seem to me.
Do you remember what airline you heard it happened on?
No. You guys, I know my toilets, but I don't know my legends.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Interface carries two completely different human waste disposal units.
Here's the old style.
Oh, look at that.
It's filled up with blue water, and you can use your own imagination what that water's made of after a while.
Yeah.
The average pressure here is exactly 0.
Right.
Because you're just recycling out of a common tank.
Right.
The pressure should be 0. But if something, say a hairbrush, gets caught in the outlet valves, While the aircraft is at altitude,
Now we're talking.
Okay, you see where I'm going here?
Yeah.
She could generate a differential in pressure.
Yeah,
easily.
the greater pressure inside would actually be trying to push her through the hole.
that theory of toilet terror has one problem. It could only happen at altitude.
According to the legend and the information that we have, they said that the women actually stayed on the toilet until they were on the ground.
Well, that would rule out the pressure differential theory,
Exactly.
wouldn't it?
Exactly.
That leaves this vacuum unit. It has pressure at altitude and on the ground.
The vacuum toilet operates at two different pressures. On the ground, it operates at approximately 3 psi negative pressure, and at altitude, we operate at 8 psi negative pressure, and that pressure is produced by the differential between the inside cabin air and the outside of the aircraft.
This is the one. But at $9 grand, it doesn't come cheap.
One of the biggest problems that I see is that we've got to mimic a woman's butt really well. It has to be nice and fleshy and soft. So we've got to decide on what kind of, it's going to be a rubber of some sort.
Yeah. Well, I've thought of using this rubber that's used in a lot of sex toys because it's very fleshy. It's called hot melt vinyl. I'd like to see a sample of the hot melt vinyl you have. Is this a hot melt?
Yeah, that's the one that's really sticky.
That's the one that I like. This is the one that I want. But we are casting up a really large bottom, and we're going to stick it to an airline toilet seat that we have. So this is actually perfect. This is definitely the stuff. It sounds right. I might want to buy as much as 10 gallons.
So that comes in flesh or clear?
Flesh, of course.
Of course, yeah.
You'd like to try the butt head?
I would like to try the butt head. Absolutely.
There you are, sir.
Do I have to pull out the... All right. And now the transformation is complete. I come from the planet Butthead. So, how did you have this done?
So that's actually Carrie's butt.
No. Really?
Except that we let her modify ourselves.
Okay, I'm going to take a shot. Try to hold it as still as possible from now on.
We scanned her butt. It's probably the best shot that you'll ever see of your own butt.
Oh, yeah, right enough.
And then we took it up to the computer and used the freeform tool to enlarge it and put a lot of cottage cheese thighs in there, the whole thing.
Really looks great. It's a really, really nice...
It really looks great. You like that?
I'm looking forward to spanking it.
A 300-pound butt requires some significant reinforcing.
There's a science to making butts. Think of all the Twinkies that go into the actual production of something like this. We're doing in one night what most people spend a lifetime avoiding. Contact.
After the break, we put our butt to the test.
3 yards.
And later, leaping lawyers. We're trying to work out just how much suction an airline toilet really has.
How are you building this strain gauge?
This is what I had in mind. If we have our forklift here and we hook a line onto it, we go down to a pivot point and we have a bar that is on the pivot point. And the bar is longer on this side than the other. We put barbell weights over here. We have another pivot point here that goes down to the butt, and there is our strain gauge.
We've made an agreement not to damage this toilet, so we want to mount it in a way that it doesn't...
Yeah, well, it's got mount points, good, strong ones.
We might want to also, come up on the sides or somehow do some other stuff to it to make sure that it doesn't strain here. I mean, this is definitely welded stainless.
Well, that's why these things cost so much, is that it's all done to high specifications. I mean, look at the welds on these things. It's a perfect little...
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
When we finished admiring it, we better get on with finding something to make it suck.
I've got one of those things that I believe pushes pneumatics around in the stores when you put you want to get change in a big department store.
Those really? You got one of those?
Yeah.
The vacuum? Oh, that's cool.
Our pump generates just 3 psi. That's 3 pounds per square inch of exposed butt.
What is this? This is about 13 inches by 15 inches. So 150 times, what did we say, 3 psi?
Let's say 3 psi. 450.
That's 450 pounds.
Pounds of pull.
Yeah.
So if we had a perfect seal on this with a rubber gasket and everything, it would take 450 pounds to remove it just from a 3 psi.
And you could see how a woman wouldn't be able to get off.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She'd have one big hickey.
Big butt hickey. That's going to be hard to explain.
Things are coming together at last.
That's ugly.
I think it actually came out pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm not displeased.
Before the experiment can begin, we have to balance the butt. Jamie's using a 4-to-1 ratio, 300 pounds of butt balanced against 75 on the pivot arm.
Okay, guys, we got some serious weight going on here, so never stand under anything at all. Keep your eye on what's going on. We don't know how much weight it's going to take before it rips.
So we're going to turn on the pump. We're going to lower the butt into place. We'll see if we get any pressure on this. We'll let it take weight, and we'll slowly start to raise and see how much poundage it takes to remove Bertha from the toilet.
Sounds like a plan.
Contact.
If the butt creates a seal, we should see a jump in vacuum pressure.
Okay, should I bring it up?
We're still measuring around 3 psi. The toilet seat is preventing us from making a seal.
I think it's much more plausible that she sat down without putting that seat down.
Okay, that's easy to test. That's better.
That's a seal, but it's not taking that much pressure.
We'll pull the plug and see if we can rethink this.
Well, we're getting a significant amount of suction out of the toilet, and the needle was bouncing more without the toilet seat on. And checking all the way around, we had a reasonable seal, but that air gap between the shroud and the bowl just prevented any real suction from occurring.
This myth's starting to look decidedly shaky. These 2 lugs under the shroud have been preventing an airlock from forming.
I believe myself that the toilets are designed to not seal.
Right.
Adam can sniff a conspiracy.
Do you think they put that in after the myth, like as a response?
No.
Personally, I think we might want to try it without the shroud, just to see if there's actually enough suction, if there was a seal.
Okay, contact. Down we come.
All right, bring it on down.
However unlikely, we want to cover the possibility that the victim's butt was so large it reached down and made contact with the bowl.
That's as good a seal as we get.
Okay, Terry, lower the weight.
Time to measure the suction.
All right, here we go.
Go! Keep going, all the way up. There was this whole butt cheek right here. This whole butt cheek was distended about another 3 inches down. The whole butt was deformed. She's got a hell of a hickey. We got a really good seal on the butt crack in that last one. There was a little bit of that it didn't want to give at first when you lifted, but